Watch us live stream at twitch.tv/Inez27. Live stream times are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. And please support my eBay store by going to SeemsGoodMagic.com, clicking on the icon, and purchasing some playsets and singles. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey, it's Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com doing my first beta 8.4 Return to Ravnica draft. The old client is currently down, and I figured I'm going to have to get good at this client someday. So we're going to try a draft. I'm a little nervous about it because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm lost right now, but hopefully it's not too complex to use beta. Onto the pack. Rare is Plasm Capture. That's not going to be the pick. I think we're just slamming the Unflinching Courage. Other good picks are the Maka, First Blade, Law Mage. All very good, but Unflinching Courage is pretty bomb, so let's take that little bad boy. Nice little sound effects that I can't quite figure out how to get rid of yet. Okay, so pick 2, we've got Flux Charger's good, Maw is good, Rot Farm Skeleton good. Anything else? Not really. So the pick's going to be Maw of the Obsidian or Rot Farm Skeleton. Interesting choice. I think we are going to go with the Maw. I think it's slightly better than the Rot Farm Skeleton. I didn't mean to slam pick it so fast. It just sort of happened that way. Okay. Far and Away is pretty excellent. It's a decent Demir sign, I would say. It's a pretty strong card. There's also Crawl Warrior, which is good. Pilfered Plans is fine. I mean, there's some decent cards in here, but Far and Away is pretty clearly the best card in this pack. And it's early enough where we can diversify a little bit until we can... I think we want to just take the best cards until we have like a super clear path. I guess if I take the Far and Away, I can still do the Maw, but it's less likely I'm going to make the Courage work. Whereas if I do the Crawl Warrior, maybe I don't need the Maw. But Far and Away is just so much better than Crawl Warrior, in my opinion. I think I'm going to go with the Far and Away here. Okay, next pick, we've got a Rot Farm Skeleton. We have Boros Mastiff. Mastiff feels playable with the Maw and the Unflinching Courage. Rot Farm feels playable with maybe the Unflinching Courage and the Maw for like junk. Rot Farm's fine. It's not an amazing card, but it's pretty good. I think I'm okay with taking the Mastiff. It's on color with a couple picks we already have. And it's a bear. This is strange. I guess it's kind of interesting. You can see who you're drafting with now, and you can kind of see where you're going. So we're playing... Yeah. Alright. Interesting. I can still sort by cost. That's cool. Can I stretch this, or... There we go. Oh, sideboard is where you can put cards you don't want in your main deck. That's kind of nice. Alright. We've got Toil and Trouble, which may not look playable, but actually is if you just want the Toil. There's a little card draw. That'd be more for the Maw, Mastiff, Far and Away plan. I think it's the best card in the pack, too. Sunspire, probably the First Blade, I guess, is the best card in the pack. But it's not super necessary or amazing, so I feel comfortable taking the Toil and being able to play it. It's a little more expensive Sign in Blood, but it's perfectly legit. Could also take the Clue Stone for the Courage, but screw that. Let's get some card draw, baby. Fairly late Spike Jester. It's kind of impressive. Notion Thief usually goes pretty late. Can take the Maze Abomination. I do love that card. got a soft spot for Maze Abomination. And we currently have more black cards, so I guess that makes more sense. Go more of an Orzhov plan. Alright, well, with that in mind, let's take the Maze Abomination. Works pretty well with Maw. I just like the Maze Abomination. I'm a big fan. Okay. Wow, Blast of Genius. Wish we could turn that on. So this is our original pack. Guess we could take the Selesnya Cluestone. Could also go for Esper. If we go for Esper, I can ditch the Unflinching Courage. Make Far and Away work easier. Otherwise, I can splash for the Courage, which seems a little bit awkward. Off a Cluestone as well, not even a gate. I have to eat up a spot in my deck to splash for a Courage. Not a big fan of that. I'm going to take the Maze Glider, just in case we end up going Esper. Alright, Fatal Fumes is perfectly fine. Another Armored Wolf Rider is a good sign for the Unflinching Courage, but Fatal Fumes is good removal. I'm cool with that. Guess we take the Cluestone just in case. Another Maze Glider. It's a lot of 6-drops. Could also take the Rakdos Cluestone to turn on the Trouble, but I'm not really digging that. Let's just do Maze Glider. Let's kind of opt towards a more, yeah. Let's take the Pilfered Plans now. Alright, let's kind of just opt towards Esper here. I feel like that's going to work for us. I guess it's kind of cool you can move stuff to your sideboard. Pilfered Plans is an excellent card, though. Cost sort me, baby. There we go. None of these really matter. Guess Restore the Peace is actually playable. Gotta take the damage first, but whatever. I gotta figure out how to get rid of these sound effects. It's pretty annoying. Mind Static. Let's get there. Alright, so currently Esper with no fixing, but it's okay. Picks that we currently have are perfectly fine. I don't know why this is saying it's... I don't get it. I want to sort by convert mana cost. So why do you have... Does this make sense to anybody else? Oh, I guess it... Why is it saying this is... Guess it doesn't matter. On the last two picks, they weren't playable anyway. Hidden Strings is playable, but I'm likely to not play it, and Uncovered Clues can go you-know-what itself. Alright. Dustmantle Guildmage. Decent. Angelic Edict. Good removal. A little bit expensive, but quite good. Rare is Molten Primordial, which we're not taking. Sylvan Primordial is pretty good, but I'd rather have the Edict, I think, than the Dustmantle Guildmage. Dustmantle Guildmage is fine, but Edict kills things, so I think that's our priority here. Unless I'm missing something. Nope. Slam that Edict. Second pick. Well, only have 5 creatures currently. It's not great. We can take... do we really have nothing super on color? Here we go. Alright, I think we're taking the Metropolis Sprite to get another creature. I'm going to take it over the Smite, which is fine, but we're decent on removal right now, and Metropolis Sprite flies, so we could end up with some Cypher spells better than Hidden Strings and be happy. Maybe we'll probably wield a Psychic Strike, which is playable. We're going to want some fixing too, by the way. Well, Hands of Binding's looking good. We've also got Righteous Charge, Devour Flesh. I don't mind Devour Flesh. What's our evasion right now? I mean, we really don't have... I guess we have the Maze Gliders and a Metropolis Sprite, and we could get some more evasion. But I actually think I like Devour Flesh more with our huge toughness creatures, because it's good defensively, it's good offensively. I think I actually like it more than Hands of Binding currently. just because we have all this card draw as well. So getting a bunch of removal can be real good. Gruel Charm is going to be good against us, but I guess it only kills the sprite currently, so it's not that bad. Wow, Merciless Eviction. Pretty happily slam that. Love that card. It's going to be real good value. Unfortunately, passing Gutter Skull, Assault Griffin, Boros Elite, all of which are playable. I'd probably just slam the Griffin otherwise, but Merciless Eviction, way too much value in that card. Way too much value. Okay. Thrall Parasite, Vizcopa. What's our... We have 0 fixing still. Sort by color. What are we mostly? This is black. This is black, white. Black, white. Black, blue. Looks like we're base black. And then splash the other two, most likely. So, Vizcopa is the best. It actually works with the Maze Abomination pretty well as well. It's a creature. I think I'm going to take the Vizcopa. I like Thrall Parasite too because we're base black. It's going to be easy to cast. Find a lot of opportunities to extort, but I actually think Vizcopa can be good too. We still have potential to make it a lot better. I've taken games over with Vizcopa, so I know how powerful it can be. So base black, splashing the other two colors currently. We have a lot of good playables. A little bit short on creatures, like I said. So I'd still like some fixing too, but our removal is quite good. This deck is certainly interesting. Okay, now we have Kingpin's Pet, which I think we're just going to slam over the Basilica Guards and the Syndicate pretty happily. Boros Charm's in here too, which is cool, but let's just stick to our original game plan here. Alright, let's take another Metropolis Sprite. I think I like that more than... Although, I guess we could take the Keymaster Rogue, but when you're short on creatures, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Let's just get some more flyers. And Metropolis Sprite's a pretty decent one. Will be flyers plus good removal. I think that works for me. Okay, this pack we've got Last Thoughts, which is actually playable, maybe unnecessary. Spell Rupture, which is playable, but not looking great in this deck currently. I guess Last Thoughts isn't looking that great either, but we'll take it. Got a good amount of evasion. We might be able to make it work. Alright, Horror of the Dim versus Clinging Anemones. I guess I'd rather have the Horror. It's more expensive and not that good, but at least it can attack. Get some hexproof. Sometimes 3/4s for 5 are good enough. Immortal Servitude. I've got 4 2-drop creatures. I guess that's 5 mana. It could be playable. Most likely not going in the deck, just to let you know, but I'll leave the option there. Does Mortar Strider have any... Actually, Mortar Strider interacts with Maw of the Obsidian for 3 mana. I like it more than the Righteous Charge in this deck just because we have 0 fixing. I don't see us realistically being able to play that. Alright, Table the Gutter Skulk. I'm pretty happy about that. Bioshift, but I don't think that's going in. Sky Games, I don't think that's going in. And an island. Okay, so we're on to the last pack. We have 0 fixing currently, which is a little bit worrisome. But our curve looks pretty good, and we look like we're mostly... we're pretty... I guess we're splash white currently. Mostly Dimir. So let me focus on that and minimize our white splash. Mostly for the Guild Mage, which isn't that great on a splash. Pet, Maw, Merciless Eviction. So we'll hopefully see some more fixing here. Let's see. Hussar Patrol is pretty amazing. I think it's an awesome combat trick. Void Wielder is amazing too. It's more expensive, but less color intensive, which I like. And we're base Dimir. The white is mostly the splash. So I guess the Void Wielder makes the most sense to me. I like Judge's Familiar too, but with the amount of removal I have, I just like fat toughness creatures, set them back, gets rid of auras, does a lot of good stuff. Void Wielder is one of my favorite cards from Return to Ravnica. Okay, another Void Wielder. We also have Longlegs, Launch Party, Cellar. I'm not afraid to double up on Void Wielder. We might be dipping out of white besides the Merciless Eviction, like just splashing Merciless Eviction if I end up with enough playables, but let's just... Wow, there's also Archon too. Jesus. Can I get to 7 mana? We already have so many 6-drops. I mean, I can play Archon. It does take games over. It's so slow, though, is kind of the issue. You can really go crazy with Void Wielders. With all these flyers and Void Wielders, just ultimate tempo gain. I feel like we're more likely to table the Archon, believe it or not. I'm going to take the Void Wielder. Say what you want. I don't care. Arrest is pretty awesome. Martial Law is pretty awesome. I still feel like we're probably dipping out of white since we have like actually 0 removal. We're probably just... Or not 0 removal, 0 fixing, excuse me. Just splashing for like an Edict and a Merciless Eviction. And the rest can get out of here. Like I can probably dump this. I can dump this. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier. Hide that. Let's hide this too. So this is like pretty base where I'd want to be. But I only have 10 creatures, so let's take the Thrill Kill. It's kind of just get some more creatures, really good value ones like Thrill Kill. Amazing white spells in here, but just 0 fixing. I really don't feel comfortable doing it. We could take the Promenade too, but let's just take the Thrill Kill. It's always a good creature. Here we've got Shred Freak, which isn't great, but when you're 2-color, mostly 2-color, I could see it being playable. It's really not that great, but there's really not much else for us either, so I guess we take it. Now I guess we can take the SR Patrol, but let's take the Stealer. Stick to our 2-color plan here. I mean, 0 fixing is gonna make it a little more difficult to make that work, you know. And we're still pretty good on removal in just 2-color. Devour Flesh, Fatal Fumes, Edict Far and Away, Merciless Eviction. Yeah, let's take the Shambler here. Love that guy. Okay, Perilous Shadow versus Roustabout. Guess the Shadow fits the curve a little bit better, works a little bit better in 2-color. Paralyzing Grasp is, in fact, playable, so I guess we'll take it. There's also Codex Shredder, but let's just take the Paralyzing Grasp. Alright, we can take the Swindler or the Courier. We don't have any rewards for them having cards in their graveyard, do we? I don't think so. It's definitely one of the 2-drops here. I guess we get the 2 toughness. That's probably better. Let's take the Rootborn, I guess, for sideboard, maybe. Psychic Spiral against Mill, but that's alright. Alright, I can take a Courier here. So, we actually look like we're fairly aggressive, believe it or not. Somehow we ended up with a fairly aggressive deck. Despite splashing kind of awkward cards here. Probably don't need the Mortis Strider. Probably don't need the Last Thoughts. Probably don't need the Horror of the Dim. Sideboard Cremate. This is 24. Maybe too many 6-drops, so I can possibly drop a Glider. Do currently only have 15 creatures. But I have plenty of card draw as well. So I could try Rakdos. I could probably drop Shred Freak because it's not amazing, but I was just grabbing it in case I was like super short on removal. I guess it does get Flying and Death Touch from my Maze creatures, which a lot of my other, in fact, none of my other creatures really get value from that. So I could probably cut a Glider. That might make sense. Alright, so we ended up with a decent deck. Somehow managed to go 0 fixing the entire time, which is pretty amazing, but I can make this deck a little bit less color intensive, but I'm pretty sure I still want to splash for Merciless Eviction and Angelic Edict. Both of those cards are definitely worth the splash. Alright, let's bring our list up here. So this is 27, yeah, get rid of that. Let's get rid of one of these. Get rid of that guy for sure. This is 24, this is a Sign in Blood, this is a removal. Maybe get rid of the Mind Static. Get rid of the Racketeer for sure. Alright, so now I'm actually short on a playable. Guess we can bring the Mind Static back. Or the Maze Glider. But it's quite a few 6-drops already. It's not like our curve's very high, actually. Our curve is fine. Maze Glider does block the world, which is pretty cool. This looks like a pretty good curve. Got some good value, some good removal. Got ways to find our white sources, which I think we're going to want at least 2 of, and possibly 3. We're not super color intensive beyond the Shadow and the Shred Freak, right? So we're base black anyway, and then we'll be a little bit of blue, a little bit of white. All right, I think this is satisfactory looking 23, 14 creatures, which might seem a little bit short, but they're all pretty good value. I guess we have quite a few early game creatures that aren't super impressive, but we have a decent amount of evasion, and we have enough finishers, I think. I guess we are a little bit short on finishers, so maybe I want this other Maze Glider. Makes our curve a little bit higher, admittedly. I admit. But I think we're going to cut the Shred Freak. Not that I think it's a bad card at all, it's just, it's a little bit too slow. Not even slow, just, I don't like the color intensive nature of it and what its like purpose is. You know, it's really for like aggressive Rakdos decks. I don't like it in the plan that we're trying to do here, which is find good trade opportunities, use spot removal effectively, and kill them with flyers, I think, and fatty Death Touchers or Merciless Eviction. I really gotta get rid of that sound effect. Is this sound or, oh no, that's some sort of zoom feature. I guess that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm definitely new to this. Let's sort by color. Or actually, somehow we ended up with more blues and blacks? That can't be right. Guess we only have 2 white spells, which was the plan. These require both, and this is a black spell. So we're actually pretty even. So let's add lands. Suggest, please. Jeez, it's like hard to see. No, I want 2 planes. So 8, 7. No, I think I need more well, I needed more mountains when I had the Shred Freak. I may still need more mountains for the Perilous Shadow. All of our 2-drops are black, so yeah, that makes more sense. So I think we're going to do 2 planes, which might not seem like a lot because it's not, but we only have 2 spells, and they're both fairly late game when we need them. And I want to make sure that we see our other colors since we have 0 removal. So let's try that out. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I mean, it's not the best deck I've ever ran, but got a decent amount of removal. We're Dimir, which is cool. We're not super color intensive. We got some good evaders. We have good removal. Good tricks. Alright, I think we're going to try it like this. How do I submit? Oh, here we go. Okay, so submitting, and we'll see how these rounds go. I'll tell you that much. Debating adding 1 more planes. I think we're going to do 3 instead. I changed my mind. The reason being, I think it's pretty important that we resolve Angelic Edict and Merciless Eviction. And we still have 7 blue, 7 black sources, so ideally we see at least 1 of each, but could hurt our mana base too much. I don't really know. I mean, I'd still like to make the Kingpin's Pet work, or the Maw of the Obsidian. I feel like that's a challenging thing to do. I could cut like a Gutter Skulk and put in the Kingpin's Pet and just really hope we see that white source, but I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe a cut of Mind Static for it. Let's get a little bit more greedy. We'll try this out.